I recently got a really great pickup. And the story behind this is there's a gentleman in the same town I am who has a little IT business. I didn't talk to him yet about using his name or his business name. I should have, but I feel like we'll be talking in the future. Basically said, hey, I got some old computers that are going to get destroyed. You might be interested in them. And yeah, I'm interested in these things. So a nice little splattering here. We got the Mac SE, not a 30, but it is a Mac SE, MacBook Pro, PowerBooks. Especially the classic G3 here. I really like this model, and this really interesting NEC. We're going to talk a little bit about this one. I'm probably going to do a separate video on this. He had two. I probably should have picked up this second one. But what are we going to do? We're going to look at these individually because I want to inventory what they are, what the specs, what works, what doesn't. Really, the only thing that I mess around with was this SE because there are some really interesting things about this and this nice little PowerBook here. I did a short on this one. So let's start with maybe the MacBook Pro and see the shape of these machines. Okay, so I did debate on taking this one. This era of MacBook Pros doesn't really interest me, but it is nice because it does have slot loading optical, which is becoming rare. FireWire 400, 800 USB. So this could be nice in a pinch. Fan or the hard drive sounds horrible inside. Little, I don't know if you could see it. There is some damage to the screen right here. And I mean, the where your palm rests, those are pretty worn out here. So this isn't going to win any best in show. But if it runs, maybe if I put a solid state drive in here, this could be a nice machine to mess around with. It's not quite old enough to be a bridge machine, and Intel Macs don't really interest me, to be honest with you. Okay, so we are finally in. Some data here, we'll get that gone, because I'm not interested in going through other people's files. But let's look. Oh, and of course it's loading. About this Mac. So 10.95, 2.4 gigahertz Core Duo, 4 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, that's not, it's not horrible. Yeah, I think that this is a okay machine. Just not really an era of Macs that I'm incredibly interested in. So let's keep moving. All right, so we'll move on to the PowerBook 180. I really love this era. I think they look really, really cool. Doesn't have the battery, but that's kind of expected. It'd probably be bad anyway. Let's turn her on. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Oh, that was scary. Maybe capacitor issues. This is one of the machines I did play with before. Let's listen to that drive spin up. This is going to be a good candidate for Blue SCSI. I did do a short on this because in a previous life, the owners did custom sounds for your errors. So instead of the wild eep or Susumi, they had a stupid. So I was messing around with the machine and I forgot what happened, but I got an error. And you would expect eep or Susumi or something else, and you hear this woman going stupid. All right, so there no real personal stuff on here, but also like no big games or anything either. But that's fine. Claris works. hey, the machine powers up. It works. I'm happy with it. So let's go about this Mac. Let's take a look here. PowerBook 180, system software 7.1, 14 megs. I mean, yeah, it's PowerBook 180. It's a black and white version. This isn't. It's not a powerhouse, but definitely perfect to do certain things. If I could find a battery, or at least maybe 3D print a cover for this, I might put some older games on here and let the kids play with this. Or just might put it up in the corner and let it run something all the time. Just flying toasters. Just I really love this era of PowerBooks. All right, a really classic PowerBook G3. Also, I love that chime. Also missing the battery, but you can hot swap these. Maybe put another floppy drive. It does have the door, the back panel door, which I was excited about, and it's loud. That drive is definitely spinning. Another replacement will have to be in the works here, but powers up. We got a happy Mac, 9.1, my favorite OS. And let's see what goodies this has. This might be another nice candidate for the kids as well. They do have a G3 that they're the desktop, right? The iMac. A lot of SimCity on there, Math Blaster, some reading games. This might be a nice companion to that iMac if I can, clean it up a little bit and get a battery, put a solid state solution in here. Let's see how much RAM. There's a lot of extensions on here. Jeez. I always love the Apple logo up here looking down at you. I wish it lit up though. All right, so what is this? Okay, yeah, that's the expansion. Okay, yep, that's to hot swap your bays. Okay, about this computer. What do we got here? 9.1, 64 megs. All right, well, we got some improvement to do here. But I like this form factor. I thought this was a really sharp looking machine. It was a serious computer, right? Because black computers are serious computers, not the white iBooks and all the colorful ones that came out later. This is a business computer to do business on, kind of like the Lenovo over here. No, I'm happy with this one. I think a fresh install, some solid state, maybe a battery, and this will be this is something we're going to use a lot in this household. All right, so this one is interesting, and I think this is going to merit its own video later on. So it's an NEC Versa 4230. Pentium machine, absolutely beautiful condition. There's a little LCD up here that works perfectly. It's not destroyed. All of the doors on the machine are here. It has a battery. It's just a really, really cool machine. I do need to do some work to this before I get it running, at least for a video. So it does boot up. It does have a color screen. Yep, clock error. I got that. The drive, it just doesn't boot into anything, right? Even if we go to resume, right? So we get to here. It does see a hard drive, but I can never get it to boot. So we'll have to install something on here, right? But just a really, really cool machine. And this is in better shape than I could have hoped. I'm kicking myself because there were two. I should have picked up the second one. Maybe he still has it. I don't know. But yeah, EGA, VGA, it's a color display, looks like 640K of RAM. Yeah, just 7 meg hard drive. really, really cool machine, and you will see this in a future video. Macintosh SE, really classic machine. Not as powerful as the SE30, but still a nice compact Mac. It did come with this unfortunately failed hard drive. I have tried percussive maintenance and all kinds of witchcraft to try to get this thing to read. It's just not doing it. So I have it running on an external Blue SCSI currently, but I'll get an internal one, wire it up with the lights, make it all working. And this this floppy drive does need some maintenance, but that's expected, right? Other than that, no issues with the machine. Powers up perfectly every time. Just really happy to have another compact Mac in the collection, but specifically an SE. Now I just got to get an SE30. But one thing that stuck out with this machine is internally it did have an ANSI Technology ASANTE Insante. It's a network controller. So it had this little Ethernet plug on the back, and I thought that was really cool. Maybe this could be a good candidate for Macintosh. Plug it in, sit it in a corner, let it be a global talk drive and hook a printer up to it. We'll see, right? There are some things, preventive stuff I want to do to it. Probably do a recap. I did see somewhere, maybe somebody can post it in the comments unless I find it, but an add to the high voltage board to actually turn the screen off. That would be nice, especially if this does turn into like an RToD global talk server. Don't necessarily want the screen powered up all the time, but I can have flying toasters go, and look how cool that is. But hey, if I can hardwire this and have Blue SCSI going, I think this would be a very, very interesting global talk machine. So maybe you'll see a video of this guy in the future, but I think we'll definitely look at that NEC machine again. So, Will, thank you for letting me know you had these machines. I'm sure we'll be in contact if you have any more. Greatly appreciated. They will be used. Some of these will pass off to a new owner to get some love. But hey, this is great, right? This is what the hobby's about. Getting these machines that would have been thrown away, giving them a second life, and making them do something useful and productive again, right? So, hey, I just wanted to share this pickup with you. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think about these machines below? I will do a video on that NEC, but do you want to see a video on any of the other machines, or are there any mods or software you'd want me to check out with them? So, yeah, hey, as always, if you like what we're doing here at Retro Tech or Die, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll catch you next time.